Alright, so here I am. I've been walking for 2 hours to get here. It was not my intention. I just decided to go for a walk. I saw the beach, and I was like, I want to go there. So I walked here. And I was expecting sand and stuff, because those are the beaches I've usually gone to. But, the military has, like, the best part of everything, so it was all restricted. So I just kept walking. Ended up here. I like it. It's beautiful, so I decided I will do my video here. Now, what is this video going to be? Probably going to label this one a rant of positivity, a positive rant, something stupid like that, right? And there are people around. I'm at a park. There's people fishing, boats going by, helicopters. It's amazing. I'm having a great time. So, if they look over these rocks and see me talking to myself, they're probably going to think I'm insane, but that's fine. Alright, so my goal for this video is to tell you some experiences, some positive experiences. To tell you how I see the future, and to tell you what my present is like now. Past, present, future. I think that would be the goal. But in a positive light. Because, I think whenever I go online, I see only negative stuff. So if you're tired of that for a second, let me give you some positivity, alright? So, I want to tell you first about some stuff I was thinking about. And if I fall, it's a possibility, guys. I'm standing on rocks. But tell you about my most recent experience, my walk here. Alright? I don't think I've ever been in this area before. I was passing a lot of stuff that I was like, that looks really familiar. Like, I think I passed my rehab. I've passed stuff that was familiar, so it was fine. But I had no idea what I was walking into, right, guys? And I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel anything. It was amazing. And I did run into people who, 3 years ago, had I ran into them, I'd probably be like, this is a questionable person. Like, I'm not going to make eye contact. I don't want them to see me. But if I made eye contact with somebody, I'd just say good morning and smile. And they would look at me and say good morning and smile. Like, I scared the living hell out of one person because I walked by their yard while they were mowing or something. And I walked by, and I said, oh, good morning, how you doing? And she said, oh, hi. And I just kept walking. And, the whole walk here, I was thinking about really interesting stuff, like comparing my walk to just life. Like, stay on your path, stay in your lane, and nothing bad is going to happen to you, It was just stuff like that. That there was people that I walked by, all kinds of people, guys, and I wanted to go off my path and go see what they were doing, go talk to them, get to know them. Anything could have happened, though, had I gone off my path, because I don't know the depths of these people, and if I just force my way into their world, it might scare them, and they might react. So I decided to just stay on my path and make it here. And so that's kind of how I'm seeing life at this point. It's kind of like, if you want to come into my world, you're welcome to. And I'm telling you right now, if you come into my world, you're not going to scare me, and we could talk. I'm telling you now. If you decide that you don't want that, that's fine too. Like, I'm grateful for the people who decide to pop in every once in a while. I really am. I just got off the phone with somebody, and amazing person, and they take the time to call me, and then I hope I make it worth their while. I do. And there's something, I tell you guys that I hang out with this 4-year-old, right? And I tell him, because when I first started hanging out with him, I would cater to his every whim. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing, Ron? I'll watch you. And so I kind of got to a point, I was staying there long enough, and I said to him, I said, if you're hanging out with me, you're going to do what I'm doing. So now I ask him, he'd be like, can I hang out with you? And I said, yeah, what are we doing? And he said, what you're doing. So whatever I'm doing is what he's doing. And sometimes I'll sway so that he can have fun. Like, I'll take him to the park, or go on a walk, or do something that he wants to do, but it's still my decision. So that's kind of where I am at in life right now, is if you want to hang out with me, kind of vibe with me, And again, I'll also vibe with you. If you want to go do something and you invite me, I'm going to be like, yeah, if I am available. But, living in this weird, and I'm calling it weird, positivity, I've been feeling this for about 3 months now, and even when I had my episodes and stuff, like, it was positive, but I always expected it to crash because that was just a pattern in my life, right? Something great happens, something bad is going to happen directly afterwards. And every time something bad happened, it took away that happiness I was feeling, and it put me in a mood, a depression. I don't want to do this anymore. Now, my present now. This is where I am right now. Anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. And I like to play this game. I just played it with this person. That I think of the most negative scenario that could happen to me once I go off these rocks, and how I could see the positive in that, and then I'm no longer afraid of it. It's a really cool game, and me being able to walk through the world without fear is a fantastic feeling. And it's so cool. But I don't know. It would be cool if, somebody was here with me right now. At the same time, though, I like my alone time. I was telling this person, I was like, my hardest challenge in life was sincerely trying to figure out when to speak and when to listen. And now, kind of when I hang out with people, I do try to listen most of the time. I'll ask questions just to keep them talking. But outside of that, people don't really care about my opinion. And I'm okay with that, because if you want to see my opinion, now it's online. And if you want to see it, you're more than welcome to look at it. And if you ask me for advice, I'll give it to you, because then it's not unsolicited. And I want to tell you guys this. Even though I'm feeling so positive and the world is bright and I'm happy, I'm not perfect. I hope you know that. Because if I 2 years ago saw somebody who was like, I'm happy, life's great, and I saw them like, yeah, well, you're still a piece of shit though. So I do try to practice what I preach, and I'm hopefully going to talk about that in a second. But you guys, I'm human, I'm fallible, I'm not perfect, and I'll point it out. Just from our experience, if you watched any of my videos, I've made mistakes in my videos, and it's fine. So in my Living Open video, I said, and for those of you who called me a perma baby, fuck you, because you have no reason why some people still live with their parents, right? Whoop. I did not practice what I was preaching at all. One, I felt some type of way about being called something, so I reacted by trying to hurt you. And now if you ever called someone a perma baby and you saw that, you were probably like, oh, well, now they don't like me. And it just brings up this whole thing, right? So I didn't practice what I preached in that moment, but I learned something from it still. I learned that now if you guys want to try to piss me off, which you can't, it's hard to faze me these days, but if you wanted to piss me off and you used what you knew, you would go and be like, you perma baby, like you would try to make me feel the way that I made you feel. And so far, I think that's the only time I've reacted that you could be like, oh, I know that bothers her. So, but if you guys decide to call me a perma baby, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, when I say that, life doesn't faze me anymore. It's like no matter what happens. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys this. I've made like 12 videos that were 30 minutes long, and my computer just decides to shut the app, right? And had that happen 2 years ago, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. But all I do is I open it back up, I hit play again, and I'm like, all right, let me say this again. Because you know what? Maybe the first time there was something I wasn't supposed to say. Everything happens for a reason. And that's just the way I'm seeing life. I'm not fazed. I think about all my possessions, and I care about my possessions, don't get me wrong. I like my guitar, I like my Xbox, I like my TV, I like my computer, I like my phone, I love my music, I love these things, but if it got taken from me, I don't think I'd be fazed by it, because in reality right now, I'm here, and all my stuff is there, and I don't miss it. So when it's next to me, if I see it being ended, why would I feel some type of way about that? Because obviously I can survive without it. So it's just constantly seeing things that you used to see as negative and just saying, what's the positive spin on that? So one of the games that I play is, if you watch my Living Open, you know how I feel about trigger warnings, but I want to talk about extremely negative situations so that I can show you how I'm seeing the positive in this. So I'm gonna give you a trigger warning. I might say some stuff at first that will make you a little uncomfortable, but I hope me continuing to talk about it maybe it could bring a little positivity into your life, okay? Because we have no idea if this goes anywhere. Who's hearing what I'm saying? My goal and my intent is not to affect your life in a negative way. We have enough of that. If you want to go watch a negative video, open the next one underneath me or next to me. They're everywhere. If you want to do that, then you do that. But if you want to see this, then here it is for you. Alright, so some negative situations that I have seen lately was in my hometown. There was this guy who, his wife died, right? They were together for like 20 years and his wife died. And he was a taxidermist, okay? So he taxidermied her and sat her on the couch for 2 years, okay? So now, the situation that this guy is in, the negativity that is happening to this guy is he's facing criminal charges, confinement, okay? And when I was told this, I was like, you know, I understand why that can seem twisted, but if you put yourself in that guy's shoes, just try to feel a little empathy, okay? The guy was with this person for 2.5 years, and, oh no, sorry, I got distracted. He was with this person for 20 years, right? And then was with her after death for 2 years. So he felt a strong emotional connection to this person. He cared about this person, and when he lost her, he felt some type of way about it. So he acted in a way that a lot of us might see as negative because it was too hard for him to let go. But I understand how the whole taxidermy thing, like cutting them and taking stuff out, like I understand how that can make somebody uncomfortable. But if you look at why it happened, it's kind of like the guy doesn't need discipline and confinement. He needs attention and love and affection and support. Because if you are living in a life that you can't let go of something, then you don't have a whole lot to live for, you know? Honestly, guys, if you're afraid to lose anything, what else are you living for? I'm not afraid to lose anything. I'm not afraid to lose anybody because, one, I'll meet somebody else. Two, I'll get something else. You guys, I haven't worked in the longest time and I'm still getting all kinds of cool stuff just because people want to bless me, and I try to give them stuff back because I want to bless them. Like my time. I give you my time. I will listen to you. I will talk to you. If you want a picture, I'll try to draw you a picture, but don't expect it from me because you guys, sometimes I don't follow through. Alright? But I'm gonna try to make you as happy as I'm feeling. And you know, having that type of mindset does help with my positivity because when I think about it, even if I think about the most negative thing that could happen to me, and that is death, right? Now let me show you the positive in that, okay? Because I know that I've affected so many people's life in a positive light that when I pass away, they're going to kind of miss me. And they're going to want to mourn for me. And they're going to go to my funeral. And it's going to be a party because you guys are all going to meet each other. And I know some pretty cool people. So I'm excited for that to happen. Now, am I going to make that happen? No. I say, as long as I die happy, I'm okay. So I'm going to stay happy because I could die at any moment. I could fall off this rock and crack my head right now and I'd be dead. And if you find this, I died happy. I'm not afraid of death anymore, but I also don't pursue it anymore. Okay? Because I used to pursue it actively because I was tired and I wanted it to be over. But I'm grateful for everything. Guys, every single day I could make a video and be like, this was the positive in my day. Okay? And it may look like nothing to you, but to me it's everything. When I go to the park and dance with my nephew, when we're listening to music, when I'm walking somewhere and I have to stop at a stoplight and I just sit there and dance. You guys, the world is my stage. Honestly, because I know when I was sitting there dancing like an idiot on the corner of the street, people were looking at me like, okay, what are they doing? But at least they were thinking about me being stupid and happy dancing rather than how they were irritated that they had to stay at a stoplight. So I am going to be the positive. Be the change you want to see in the world. I want to see the world happy. I want to see people hanging out. I want to see people talking. I want to see people free. So that's what I'm going to do. And what I want you guys to know, that even if more negative happens to me, another one, for example, in my Unprovoked Acknowledgements video, I did admit to criminal activity, and I said if a power outside of me feels the need to enforce that power over me, I accept that as a possibility. And I did that 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't deleted it because I accept it as a possibility. And I want you guys to know that freedom is a state of mind, okay? So if somebody feels like they have power over me and wants to lock me up, I'm not going to fight back. I'm not violent. You could take me. It's cool. I'll have a bed, whatever. But the reason I still see the positive in that is because if my freedom is a state of mind and they decide to lock me up for something is honestly not anything, I'm not a dangerous person. I'll never hurt another person. I hope. Sometimes I don't know how my actions affect others, but I hope I don't. Because again, I don't want to live your life. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's in my Breaking Religious Boundaries video. It motivates me not to hurt you guys sometimes, okay? The possibility of the afterlife, okay? So, yeah, I totally just rambled there for a second. But yeah, guys, I'm seeing positive in everything. So if they decide to lock me up, there's a reason I need to be there, because there might be somebody in prison who needs somebody to listen to them. There might be somebody there who's on the verge of death, and since I've been on the verge of death, I can talk them off that cliff, guys. It's experiences that make us learn so that we know how to handle situations in the future. I've been through so much negative shit that, come on, what do you got? I'm not challenging you, please don't abuse me, but if you do, I really don't think I'd be faced for it. And am I saying I'm like supernatural? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I could still feel pain, but if I ride this happiness, it's just going to keep increasing. And if I get to the point where I'm so happy that even physical pain won't affect me, it'll be great, okay? And I know when I talk like this, people start to think that I have a God complex, and I want to talk to you guys about this whole God complex thing, okay? I compare myself to gods. All of them. I do. And I don't think that's an issue. And for those of you who are like, whoa, who do you think you are? I'm gonna tell you who I am, okay? So, my name is Krista. And Krista means Christ-like. My parents decided to give me that name, and I intend to live up to my name because that's who I am, okay? And the only way that I could be Christ-like is if I look at Jesus and say, what did your life look like? How am I comparing to you? If he was perfect and I'm striving for perfection and greatness, I'm gonna compare myself to the greatest. Buddha, again, you guys know I love Buddha. I'm gonna compare myself to him. That man had everything in the world that he wanted, right? And I hate living a life without music, so I'm gonna plug in my other headphones, but he had everything. He was a rich man, and I'm positive that when he gave up his possessions, his worldly possessions, and all of that, like, stuff, I'm sure when he gave that up, that the people around him who thought that they knew him and was seeing what was going on, I'm sure they thought he looked crazy. I'm sure it scared them, and I'm sure that if he let their fear hold him back, he wouldn't have been Buddha. That's how I feel about that. Now, again, am I saying I'm a god? No, but let me tell you guys something, okay? I was talking about it to somebody today. And you know, sometimes I surprise myself, okay? So this is what we were talking about. We were talking about God, right? And I asked them to share their God with me. Like, I want to know how they see God. And they said, you know, I'm a pretty open-minded person. So that was their way of telling me that, you know, they'll kind of accept my God, okay? That they didn't need to feel the need to tell me what they thought. So I accepted it, and then they told me that a little bit of what their God looked like. It was about 2 sentences, which is cool. But then they asked me, what about you? So I'm going to tell you guys what I told them, because I thought it was good, honestly. And my phone's at 15%. First world problems. Okay, so what I told them when they said, what about me? I said, if I had to label my higher power, I would label it love, okay? Everybody in this world is capable of love, and everybody in this world has felt love. Okay? So if my higher power is love, then everybody in their own right is a form of God, and I will respect you as such. Okay? And I don't care if you respect me as such. I don't care. Because even if you abuse me, if it makes you happy for a second, cool. I brought a little bit of positivity in your life because you felt good slapping me. You felt good punching me. You felt good taking my stuff. If it made you feel positive for just a little bit, I forgive you. Seriously, I do. I don't care. But, you know, I do imagine with my game, I also think about, like, when I'm walking with just my bag and stuff, there's nothing in there. I only have the laptop, right? I don't bring a lot of stuff with me, guys, and it's because I don't have a lot of wants. I just want to listen to music and sometimes get a phone call, so I'll carry the electronics and obviously the laptop because I like to talk. So I carry that in the bag. But if I was walking down the street and somebody saw me and they got curious and they said, what's in that bag? And instead of asking me, if you ask me what's in the bag, I'm going to tell you guys. I'm like, do you want to look at it? Like, whatever. But if they feel uncomfortable to the point where they don't feel like they can talk to me and ask me, then they're going to assert their power over me to take my stuff, run with it, maybe hurt me in the process because they think from their experiences that I'm going to attack them back, which I won't. But if they know that from their experiences, then they're probably going to make sure that they can silence me before I can hurt them back. And the positivity in that, guys, is if they take my stuff and they get into my laptop, there's some pretty cool stuff in there because, you guys, I have like 100 videos on here and I only posted like 20. So if you steal from me, you're gonna get to know me. If you steal my phone and unlock it, you're gonna get to know me because I'm gonna tell you guys a little something about me. I do record my conversations. I have a lot of conversations recorded on my phone. And it's not to sell it. I don't know why I started doing it, honestly, but when I was in therapy, I wanted to remember what they were saying to me, so I would record it so that I could listen to it. And I learned a lot from it. I learned how I talk to people, how when I say no, because when I say no, they instantly kind of shut down. So it kind of ends the conversation. So instead of me being like, no, because, I'll just be like, hey, you know, I think this too. And it just keeps the conversation going. So me learning how to see myself made it easier for me to talk to other people. Again, am I perfect at it? No, sometimes I make mistakes. Because I am not God. I live openly. I love everyone. But I am not love itself, okay? But yeah. So, we're at 22 minutes. You know, my goal, honestly, was to talk positive for like an hour and 20 minutes because I did my negative video for an hour and 20 minutes. And honestly, I've said in my positive video that I could tell you all the positivity in my life, but then I'd be standing here for 27 years because, guys, I made the 27 club. I just heard about that last week. Experiences. I had no idea what that meant. I did not know that it was something to be happy about, that you made it to 27. Kind of sad, kind of cool, but I made it to 27. And I thought that I was going to die at 25, guys, because I've been trying to kill myself since I was 15. I'm not going to do that anymore. Ever. I don't care what happens to me. I'm not going to give up, and I hope you don't either, because I want to know you. And you guys, some of the videos that I have put up videos and taken them down, and I'm going to tell you why I did that, because I don't have secrets. I've posted 3 videos that I've put up and taken down, okay? The first one, I was talking to specific people. I did not say names, but I was mad about what they were doing, so I was kind of aggressive, okay? And is that a bad thing? No, you know, and again, comparing myself to the gods, Jesus got angry, guys. He was mad when he saw religion and how it was hurting people, and he threw that shit. Oh, sometimes I throw that shit. I don't do it as much as I used to, because I learned to try to understand why it happens. I understand why religion happens. I understand why confinement happens. I'm understanding why all of it's happening, and with that understanding, I don't feel a reason to react, because I could put myself in your shoes and I'd be like, I know why you did that. We are one. I'm not going to judge you because then I'm judging me because I was a shitbag. I've done horrible things. Guys, life is beautiful. And I always had this thing that it was like you're waiting for the next best thing to happen. So I ask people, what is it that you want to do in life? And they tell me, I want to go to school. I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn these things. I want to do this. And I say, what are you waiting for? Money? Yeah. It's usually money. So them waiting for something else is holding them back from being who they truly want to be. And when we're not able to be who we truly want to be, that's when we're miserable. Because guys, that next thing's never going to happen unless you make it happen. My next thing for me was to step out that door. Just wake up. That was all I had to do. And then today, I was like, you know, I want to go to the beach. That's my next thing. So I walked to the beach. I could have asked for a car. I could have done all these things. But I decided to go for a walk. And just honestly, when they say live life one day at a time, that's all I'm doing. I live every day to the fullest. And even if it looks like I've done nothing, I fall asleep happy. And I never thought that would happen, guys. I really didn't. I thought I was going to be miserable my whole life because everybody that I've ever known, it seemed like they died miserable. Except for at that final moment, they kind of closed their eyes and they seemed at peace. And I always thought that that's why I pursued death, was because I saw that when it was done with them, they felt peace. And I just wanted to feel that peace. So I tried to make it happen myself. And that would have brought so much more pain, guys, because there's so many people on this planet who care about me. There's so many people on this planet that I care about. And me ending it would have brought sadness. But if somebody else ends it, and I'm not asking you, please don't end it for me. I don't want to die. If I do, though, if it happens and it's not my will, mourning, yes. I have a video on my computer where I've mourned for those that I've lost, guys. I have it on there. Mourning's gonna happen, but when I think about them, it's not so negative as much as I miss them. And to miss somebody is a positive feeling because that means you were grateful for them. Man, guys, I love it when people call me. And I don't call, guys, and I know it goes two ways. If somebody makes an active intent to be like, hey, I want to communicate with you, please communicate back with me, I'll call them. Or if I say I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna call you. But what I love about getting phone calls from people is, you were thinking about me. And I'll talk to you. And sometimes I'm awkward. Guys, I'm human. But I appreciate every phone call I get. I appreciate every phone call I make. I appreciate every experience I had. Like in my positive video, I said, if I've known you longer than 3 minutes, don't think I'm not going to think about you. But even that lady that I passed who I scared because she was cleaning her yard and I freaked her out, I'm never going to forget that. Because we don't forget things, guys. We think we do, but sometimes you think of something and you're like, whoa, I totally forgot about that. It's beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. And I hope my positivity doesn't annoy you. Because something that I've noticed in life is when I see somebody in pain, I come at them with love, and they're so used to the pain that they can't accept my love and they get mad at me. But I want you guys to know that even you who yell at me, even you who say you're going to kick my ass, even you, I appreciate that experience. And if you see this and you're one of those people, you can talk to me. I just want to know how you're doing, guys. And, you know, I do believe that if I stay on this path, only greatness can happen. And even if it doesn't, even if what your idea of greatness is doesn't happen, I'm okay with that. No matter what happens, I'm okay with it. You know, after I close this, I have choices to make. I can either walk back home. I could call somebody to pick me up if I'm just tired of walking. Or I could just keep walking. Possibilities are endless. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And it's amazing, guys. It is. It's amazing. Again, I want to talk about positivity all day. But last thing I want to talk about, I know that I had this in my ear in the beginning of the video. I'm gonna explain that. I'm still working on quitting this. Because again, it doesn't make me feel good, but I've had that. That's the only one I have, and I've had it for 2 hours, and I think this is probably gonna be how I quit, is I will always have one, and the reason I haven't smoked it yet is because it is the only one I have, and I might want a cigarette eventually, like really bad, and if I don't have it anymore, then I might feel some type of way about it, so I'm gonna hold on to that until I don't have it anymore. Just wait 5 more minutes. We'll see if this works. Something I haven't tried before. And you guys, if I feel a little weird, sometimes I'll just put it in my mouth, but I won't light it because then I'll still have it. Guys, it's amazing. And yes, it's a cigarette. And last thing I want to talk about, I was hanging out with my nephew yesterday, and we have morning meetings, right? And in our morning meeting, here's what we do. We write the date, obviously, who's in attendance. It's usually just me and the kid. And then we write out what our day is going to look like. So we say, this is what time it is. We're having our morning meeting. What are we doing after this? And we plan out our whole day. And honestly, guys, we never do what it says it's going to do. Ever. But just planning it, it helps. So we plan out our day. And then after that, we write word of the days. It started with one word of the day and one color of the day, but it has turned into 2 word of the days because this kid is learning words and he says, I want to have a word of the day too. So he'll say a word of the day. His has been yin and yang 3 days in a row. I think that's really interesting. He's going to be a professional on yin and yang. So he usually picks that word, but we picked the word safety yesterday because he tends to do stuff that are unsafe. So we were practicing safety, and when I was trying to explain to this kid, I was telling him, you know, anything in the world is safe if you know how to respect it, okay? And I feel safe around all of you guys because I know how to respect you. I don't feel in danger, okay? So, that's where I'm going to end it today. I might make another video. I might not make another video. Anything is possible, but just so you know, no matter what I'm doing, I'm having a great time doing it. I hope you're happy. I hope you're content. I hope you're living your best life, and I hope you're passionate. And if you think I'm crazy, at least it made you smile. I hope. Because I just want to bring a little positivity into this world. And if you guys are curious as to those people who I was confronting, I'll tell you one of these days if you ask. But there's 3 people in the world right now that I'm like, hey, I want to get to know you because I want to know why you're doing what you're doing. So, we'll see what happens. Have a good day, guys. I know I will.